You see the thumbnail, you see the title. We're here to talk about Kyle Pitts potentially being a trade candidate for your New York Football Giants. If you don't know who Kyle Pitts is, he's currently the tight end for the Atlanta Falcons. And Kyle Pitts, when he was coming in, was known to be a unicorn. He was supposed to transcend the tight end position, completely be a mismatch for anyone who's trying to guard him, whether you stick a corner, linebacker, safety. It didn't matter who it is. Kyle Pitts is supposed to be that type of player. And unfortunately, he hasn't lived up to it. He's entering year 5 of his career in the NFL, and apparently the Atlanta Falcons are shopping him around. They're looking for a day 2 pick, which would be a second rounder or a third rounder for Kyle Pitts. I'm going to let y'all know right now, man, I'm not moving on with this trade. I'm not doing it. I'm not pulling that trigger. Let's talk about Kyle Pitts and let's talk about what he's done ever since he entered the league. First year in the league, man, 110 targets, walked away with 1,000 yards, 68 receptions, and only 1 touchdown. You're going to see that's going to be a trend for Kyle Pitts. He hasn't amassed anything close to that ever since that first year of his career, man. Last year, he's coming off of 600 yards, career high 4 touchdowns and 47 receptions. Obviously, that offense has been through a ringer, but overall, when you think about Kyle Pitts and what he was supposed to be in the league, he has not come close to living up to that at all. But now you're seeing rumblings that the Atlanta Falcons want to shop him, and he could be a big name that teams could look to add potentially to help their offense, be a big target, obviously cause attention towards him and maybe help out a couple other guys on the offensive side of the ball. If you're looking at the New York Giants, man, if you're looking at our roster and our team, I think we're good off of a Kyle Pitts, especially considering what we would need to give up and what we currently have on this team. Now, what can Kyle Pitts do well? Obviously, he's supposed to be a lot better of a route runner than other tight ends in this league. And I still think there's mismatches that you can exploit with Kyle Pitts, but for some reason, it just hasn't worked yet. He was on an offense with Drake London on the outside and Bijan Robinson in the backfield, a pretty stout offense, and still has yet to even, scratch the surface of what he should have been and could have been. But I think that's where we ultimately set these players up for failure, is because we set expectations for a Kyle Pitts. And granted, when you take him number 4 overall, a tight end especially, you expect him to be that type of player. But I think when you compare him to a guy like Brock Bowers is a guy that's made an impact immediately. And you can tell the difference between the two. I mean, Brock Bowers is a better blocker. He obviously knows how to route up a couple different linebackers or no matter who you want to guard him with. And the guy's fast. He makes things happen when the ball is in his hands. Brock Bowers is hands down the best tight end in the league. But this is the type of production you expected out of Kyle Pitts. And he's just not that same type of player. Still a big body tight end that you could see, once again, being 6'4", 6'5", still come down with some catches. But overall, Kyle Pitts still has a lot more to prove in this league. And maybe you can kind of exploit that or try to tap into that potential if you put him in the right offense. Put him with the right quarterback. Now, rookie year, he had Matt Ryan. And ever since Matt Ryan, the Falcons have been struggling to find a quarterback. Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, and now Michael Penix being the quarterback over there. It's looking like they potentially might move off of him in the sense of Kyle Pitts. And what would that look like for the Giants? I mean, when you look at the offensive side of the ball for us, we got a Malik Neighbors. You did add Tyrone Tracy last year, Cam Scatterbo this year. You still have a couple wide receivers that are in this offense. But is Kyle Pitts a need? I definitely don't think so. Especially after you just drafted Theo Johnson last year, and he looked promising. He did. Only 29 receptions, and he did miss the last couple games because of a Liz Frank injury. But Theo Johnson can be a player that is pretty serviceable at the tight end position, especially. I don't think we need an alpha tight end. I think we need, a solid two tight ends in the system that can produce, that can stretch the ball, obviously vertically, and overall be there when we need them. I don't think we need an alpha tight end. And we don't even have to look that far. Look at it when we had Darren Waller. Joe Schoen already made a trade for a tight end previously, gave up a third rounder. And if it was up to me, I would make that trade again, especially because Darren Waller was a lot more established than a Kyle Pitts. The biggest thing when it comes to Kyle Pitts is that he's still obviously young, 24 years of age. And once again, he's entering his 5th year in the league. He still has some years to potentially continue to develop or potentially even still blossom into the player that he can be. That's the difference between him and Darren Waller. But overall, Darren Waller was a lot more proven, a lot more of a mismatch, and he was good on the Giants. He was pretty solid when he was playing. It's just he had a lot of injuries. Kyle Pitts right now, ironically, is missing some OTA time with it looks like a foot strain that's going on. They just announced it because it was a mystery for a little while. So you don't like to see that for Kyle Pitts. He did have, 2022 missing a lot of games there. So hopefully Kyle Pitts can stay on the youthful side. But once again, if you're the New York Giants and if you're Joe Schoen, in my opinion, we're not making this trade happen. We're not doing it, especially if they want a day 2 pick. Because what does that require? That requires the Giants to give up their second rounder. They currently don't own the third rounder. And if you've been following the team, trading up for Jackson Dart costing them a third round pick next year. So you don't have round 3 pick. You only have a round 2 pick. I don't see this happening. A lot of people are putting the Giants as a front because they feel like we need to add, playmakers to this offense. And I can see how that could be true. I mean, we didn't draft a wide receiver. We drafted a running back. We didn't really add a wide receiver during this offseason that can add to this team. We re-signed Darius Slayton, and then we kind of got guys that can play special teams and potentially step up if there's injuries, but we haven't had a proven playmaker added to this team yet. So can you look at Kyle Pitts being that type of playmaker for the Giants? I guess if you're a GM that's in Madden, yeah, add him. But if you're looking at assets and looking at what this team should be able to do next year, I don't think Kyle Pitts is necessary. I really don't. Theo Johnson coming into his second year is a guy that some people are rating as an underrated player or a player ready to blossom. There's league executives or people on other websites that are saying that Theo Johnson could be that type of improvement that you want to see on the Giants, that could be one of the most improved players. So if it's me, I'm sticking with Theo Johnson. I'm not giving up a second round pick. You still got to try to find a way to get that third round pick back. I don't know if they'll be able to do so, but overall, Kyle Pitts, I'm good off of it, man. Keep him over there in Atlanta. Let's keep things rolling with us, and hopefully we have other guys blossom. I want you guys to let me know down below, man, what are your thoughts on Kyle Pitts potentially being an addition for this New York Giants team? Once again, a lot of people are going to start circulating and talking about it. If I'm making a prediction, I think he stays on the Falcons. I don't think anyone gives up a day 2 pick, especially considering, once again, the output does not make me want to throw a second rounder or a third rounder for Kyle Pitts. I'm just being honest. Other things in Giants land right now, they're still continuing to have OTA practices, and you're seeing deep balls to Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt is going to be a point of topic throughout this whole offseason, especially considering are we going to see more snaps and more playing time for him when it comes to season. I hope that's the case, but seeing him connect with Russell Wilson early is something you want to see. And OTAs, once again, is on air. There's no pads. You're not seeing guys compete to the extreme level that you want to see, but still liking what I'm seeing out of the team. Seeing Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeaux, and obviously Brian Burns all together is insane to see. And that's something I'm really looking forward to see when the season starts. But right now, once again, little OTA practices going on, nothing too crazy. Darius Alexander did sign his contract, so love to see another rookie get his deal done. Get that over with, and let's not keep rolling it into the summer. If you didn't watch my stream with Bobby Skinner, man, go ahead and pull that up now or click the link right now so you can go ahead and watch it, man. It was dope to have him on, and hopefully going to continue to have him on later in the future, but it was definitely a dope conversation. If you missed it, man, go tune in, go check it out. But I want you guys to let me know your thoughts on this video down below, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.